Alright, looks like we've got game 2 here in this winner's bracket semifinals match between Ogre and Twisted Fusion, and apparently this is a remade game because they're just doing random bands and talking about the same picks, and I don't know, I guess something happened. So that is gonna mean we'll just bust through this picking stage, and I'll spend this segment talking about last game, and then the negotiation part of the game talking about the picks. So, last game, of course, we saw Ogre take the eventual 36-minute victory, thanks to some really powerful farm from Swiftblade and Puppet Master, and looking to wrap this series up as they have that one-game advantage. Twisted Fusion, of course, not quite with their backs against the wall, as this is the winner's bracket semifinals, so they have the potential to just go into the loser's bracket and come right back from there. But of course, never really want to do that, and they'd like to take this and force it to a game 3, no doubt. So, Legion side have picked up Glacius, Chipper, Tempest, Pharaoh, and Malakin. So, same Glacius, Chipper combos there from the top two from Cluckmuck and Demstrats. But Tempest, Pharaoh, and Malakin, all new heroes. And Count Cracula will be on that Malakin in the carry position, no doubt. Probably going to be seeing Pharaoh in the suicide role as Pethin is their suicide player typically. And then, of course, Tempest in the woods. I like this. I like the Tempest. I don't think we see this hero enough. I think he's really powerful. And especially with a hero like Malakin, whose ulti gives him some splash damage, he can be a ridiculously high damage dealer if you get that God Hole. And yeah, I don't know what happened. But level 1 Conqueror. So this is happening. Swiftblade here going to drop a health pot, and I'm not sure if this is going to happen. Pharaoh or Pyromancer went stun over Frenzy, which is really strange to me, because Frenzy charges will be building up pretty heavily at this point. Looks like a pause is going to go through, and obviously we'll be able to skip straight through it, but I don't know if that's going to affect anything. It looks like this is going to happen. Already below half health. They've got 15 seconds left, so this is going to be a Kongor kill, it looks like. And it's just going to take a bit of time. Here comes the courier down. They're trying to get this. He's getting stealth so much damage. They need all sorts of regen. There's a stun finally from Magnus once again, and pauses, DCs, all over the place, but this is going to be a Kongor.
Kongor has been slain.
So token is going to end up going to, who's that, Bubbles? Okay, so level 1 Kongor. As I believe Swindlemelon says, that means Twisted Fusion wins the game, right? Or at least that they should. But I haven't talked about their lineup at all. Swiftblade, Shadowblade, Magnus, Pyromancer, and Bubbles. Pyromancer we don't see too much. I'd like to talk on that before we do anything else because, yeah, there's the big one. Hero I really like, hero that should be played a lot more often, very powerful hero, that's it. Shadowblade. Okay, haven't seen Shadowblade ever pretty much, and I'm not a fan really. I don't think that he can do enough. He's versatile, and I think if you're really good with him, he can probably do a ton. But I don't really see it as a competitively viable hero. Maybe he'll surprise. That's it. I don't have anything beyond that. Maybe I should, but I don't know. He's a great anti-dev in Mid-Wars, but there's no dev in this game. This isn't Mid-Wars. Anyway, bottom lane Malakin and Glacius versus a Suicide Bubble. Bubble should be mostly okay here. Obviously, the melee hero is taking the CS in Malakin, so he should be able to get a few auto attacks off to do some harassing, like so. And with the escape mechanism and lack of a true stun, probably won't be taking too many deaths at this point. Looks like middle lane is going to be Magnus and Pyromancer versus Chipper. So last time, of course, we saw Chipper in the solo short roll. And this time he's going to be in the middle lane, but once again opposing a Magnus. Didn't do very well last time versus a Magnus Rhapsody, and I expect similar things to happen in this situation. Mid lane, perhaps a little bit more defensive ability there, And it looks like some aggression there, but because it's going to be a little bit harder, you know, there's not as much distance. Then again, they were long lane last time, that didn't seem to hurt them too much. And they've got 2 stuns and a little bit more burst damage this time with Pyromancer as opposed to Rhapsody. Of course, Rhapsody has Zagato, but they have 2 real stuns now as opposed to consecutive mini stuns, which can sometimes be more valuable, of course. But I don't expect Chipper to do too well here. 191 GPM so far, and Archer Tiger on that Magma's already at 350 gold per minute. Of course, that level 1 Colin Ward does help quite a lot. Bottom lane looks like these illusions from Pyromancer will make the transition and start to screw up with Cluckmuck's pull just a little bit. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, looks like Chipper is going to be jumped on. Swiftblade spin is there, and that's going to be the kill. So I haven't talked to Swiftblade at all. Is he jungling? I guess so. He's got boots. I haven't even noticed where he's been, because there's been a Suicide Bubbles and a jungle Swiftblade. Okay. That's new. That's the first time I've seen him jungle, and the only role he's got left to play really is the support. They're going to take some pretty serious harass here from Shadowblade, but shouldn't die. Get that creep kill up there, buddy. There you go. Anyway. Bottom lane, looks like some stuff's going down. Malikan going to be able to get the sword throw off, and he will be just fine. Pickled Brain picked up that Tempest, so he's probably got his Ring of Sorcery completed, or close to it. We'll see. Mid lane Magmus has taken some pressure. Is level 5 though, so has that advantage. We'll pick up the Invis Rune up top. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go for a gank onto the Spare. I think if he does, they can get the kill. Yeah. So just making sure that there's no ward there. Obviously there's a fade time, so wants to look like he's heading back to middle lane just to camp a little bit, but is in fact going top. And Pharaoh's going to be in a lot of trouble. Drops the Hellfire here, but that's not going to be enough. Lava Surge goes in. Mummy Walls will not be able to save him. Pethin will fall. So I like the gank. Obviously good use of the Invis Rune right there, and it looks like Magmus will hang around here for no reason, because he doesn't want to take Swiftblade or Shadowblade's farm away. Oh, he's giving them the bottle, that's why. Fair enough. And then he will TP back to middle, or to base, in fact, and then walk back middle. Okay. Swiftblade, meanwhile, has transitioned a little bit to the middle lane. And just picking up some CS while Magmus is absent, so just even a roaming Swiftblade. Traversing the land and using his spin for good wherever he finds need of it. Bottom lane Count Crapula on that Malikan, not doing too well at all. 284 gold per minute. Just really, meh game for him, especially after he had just a really, really great performance at Puppet Master last game. And Bubbles perhaps in some trouble here, takes the sword throw, but once again they're not going to be able to lock him down. He's got the Shell Surf, so he can just run away. I don't know why he's taking all this damage, but that was not a great choice. Has to put the Kelp Field down to prevent anybody from chasing him. And there's the sword throw. Yeah, that was a horrible play. He absolutely deserved that. Meanwhile, middle lane looks like Chipper's gonna get jumped on once again. Is gonna die. Ooh, that Pyromancer auto attack was in the air for a long, long, long time. But Demstrat's on Chipper, not quite able to survive the burst damage of the Hellborn side. But that play on Bubble, that was just freaking terrible. So, you should be ashamed of yourself, Salim, I don't know. But I don't know why you wouldn't just Shell Surf directly out. I mean, Glacius couldn't have gotten the angle on you then, and you wouldn't have had to use your Kelp Field, and you wouldn't have died. Oh well. Tempest here in the woods, farming pretty well. 264 gold per minute here. That'll go up a little bit as he gets these CS. Has his Ring of Sorcery and nothing else. Presumably Boots will be next. Chipper in the middle lane at 132 GPM, so if you thought he started badly last time, yeah, it's getting worse. As it looks like Zibe's Chipper is the Chipper. Bottom lane, meanwhile, looks like Bubbles will be able to get away with the Shell Surf and Port. Pyromancer illusions here up top, and he's going to be getting a bunch of illusion runes, it feels like. Magnus, they're going to steal some CS, looks like, with his Volcanic Touch and Lava Surge. Nice little easy camp cleanup, and we'll continue to sip that bottle. 8-minute rune going to spawn in about 25 seconds. Top lane looks like we're getting a bottle delivered here to Pharaoh, so a pretty late bottle, in fact, after he got his boots. But I don't mind that decision at all. I might have liked to have seen it on Tempest over Pharaoh, but I do like the double bottle strat. It looks like actually it'll be the single bottle strat, as Chipper doesn't even have one, which is, I don't know if that's just because he's been having such an awful time here. He's got 720 gold per minute, or 720 gold, so I would like to see the bottle picked up. It'll allow him to, you know, spam rockets a lot more. It'll give him some health so that when they jump him, if he's got a second in between taking damage, he can sip the bottle, get some health back, and that might be the difference between him living and dying. You saw in that last fight when he died to that last Pyromancer auto attack. If he had had a bottle or something, he probably would not have died there. So I'd like to see it. Looks like he's not going for it. Maybe it's a Grave Locket. Maybe just going for upgraded boots right off the bat. But I think the bottle and getting some rune control here at this point would be really, really great for Team Shrek is Love. They don't have any at all. Hellborn have had complete control of these runes for pretty much the entire game. As it looks like, who's got the current one? Pyro? Possibly. Anyway, Sawblade Tread down middle. Gonna clean out some creeps. Magnus sort of wants to engage on that. Architiger looking for the angle, but won't find it. Lava Surge is maxed out, but of course still doesn't have an infinite range. It's just decent. Shadowblade up top, just farming his brains out. 440 gold per minute here. Take a look at his CS score. He's got 65 creep kills in just under 10 minutes. That's a pretty good number. Magnus at 53 matches Malikan in that bottom lane. Bubbles once again in a lot of trouble. Actually, we'll just take the ultimate on top of the Glacial Blast, and that's going to be a kill. So, not bad at all. As Tempest does blow the ult, big cooldown, but it's early, and in this type of situation, getting one kill is definitely worth it. Later on, of course, it's less worth it, because within those 180 seconds, you can do a lot if you're the opposing team. But at this point, not that big deal. Meanwhile, middle lane actually will be the jump, and I saw that, and I was scratching my arm, but there's the replay coming in, a pretty easy kill. We'll see if Pyromancer can survive this. Takes Glacial Blast stuns, but she'll be okay. And they're going to try to turn this on to Tempest. That's going to be another kill.
Double tap.
And that's going to be death to Pyro, though, as the Pharaoh comes in from the side. And they drop the Kelp Field there as well. And nice Mummy Walls there, actually. I believe that took just enough mana from Magnus to prevent him from being able to Lava Surge into the Mummy Walls and perhaps try to get yet another kill. And Pharaoh going to drop some Hellfire here. Magnus could be in a lot of trouble, actually, and I think he's going to take a death. Yeah, Mummy Walls are going to go down. Oh, he's going to get stunned out of that. No, excellent play there from Architiger. Nope, Rocket. Beautiful. Beautiful Rocket from Gemstrats will pick off the kill. And just, those are the kind of things that are really, really hard to hit. Skill shot abilities from that distance is, whenever you see that sort of thing, you're like, yeah, that's it's pro game. It's going to happen. But nice escape initially from Architiger too, trying to get away from that. And eventually managing to at least dodge the Pharaoh, if not dodge the Chipper. There are so many rockets in this game. Pharaoh's got a rocket, Chipper's got a bunch of them. And in general, just a lot of long-range initiation potential. We've got, you know, the Wrath of the Pharaoh, as well as a couple Portal Key candidates on the leading side in Tempest and Chipper. And then, of course, Portal Keys will eventually be picked up on Magnus and Bubbles. So, the jump potential is real for both sides. And you look at the lineups, I would say Hellborn has the late game advantage. Malikan obviously a very, very strong hero, but you got Shadowblade and a Swiftblade here on the Hellborn side, as well as the lockdown of Magnus, Pyromancer, Bubbles. All of whom also provide a fair bit of late game right click as well as burst and AoE damage. Glacial Blast there onto Magnus in the middle lane. Looks like he'll be mostly okay. He does have Steam Bath, so he's going to be able to wait for that. So I'm going to see goes down to the Chipper, but there's so many out there. Cluckmuck will get dropped. Nice jumps there, and Chipper could also be in some trouble. He will die. We're going to turn this on to Tempest as well. Ends up being a 3 for nothing. So they chased a little bit there, but the Hellborn's response is pretty awesome. And to be fair, Swiftblade got some lucky bounces there. I think he should have been able to bounce to both Tempest and Chipper. So he got all 3 on Glacius and then immediately spun and killed him. Ends up being a mid-tower kill, so Twisted Fusion off to a much better start than they were last game, especially in the mid-game phase. And with a lineup that can definitely go late as opposed to last games where they basically had to win early. Kongor is back up, so we'll see if they choose to go for this. Obviously they did it before, so definitely possible once again. Magma's continuing to clean stacks in the Legion jungle, and that's going to be really, really annoying. Pyromancer running away. That's hit by a Pharaoh Rocket. Magnus picks up the portal key there. 13 minutes in, not bad timing at all. Has nearly 400 GPN once again. So Archie Tiger showing he really knows how to play Magnus, and he should. He's been around for a really long time, and that hero is not new. Shadowblade apparently content to just continue his farm up top, taking as much CS as he can up to 95 at this point. Actually, no. There's something over here. Clockmuck getting dropped. For some reason, why was he... What the hell was he doing there? Besides something stupid. I don't know. 3 heroes middle for the Legion side. Look, they're going to try to push this tower. Probably won't be able to take it. Also should note that Malakin's up to 103 CS, so actually out-CSing that Shadowblade. Was definitely not the case before. He's really had a good time in this bottom lane. Managed to pick up his farm a little bit. 406 gold per minute, as he's really the only one on this Legion side he's doing particularly well. Next size farmer is 250 gold on that Pharaoh. That's not something you want to see. Tempest at 235. Rejected. Not great. Approach the 15-minute mark here, and Twisted Fusion in a pretty substantial lead, 5.5k gold, just over 3.5k experience. It's just funny, this Shadowblade is refusing to leave this top lane whatsoever. I mean, we've had the rest of the team group up fairly consistently, especially in that middle lane to try to get kills, and Shadowblade's just like, nope. My name is Time to Die, and I'm not moving from this damn lane. Can't really blame him. 430 GPM. Bit hard to argue with that. And if they're not going to contest him, hey, might as well just keep going for it. He's currently got the Insanitarius and an Abyssal Skull, so that'll be very helpful for Swiftblade. Won't have to pick up one of his own. Which is nice, because at 270 GPM, he's not farming badly by any means, but if he can skip that item, that's going to help him out quite a lot. At this point, that's, what, 8 minutes of farm for him or so? That 2k item. And looks like up top here, Demonstrates will get picked off. I'm just missing everything, but that's why I have replays, because BAM! Takes the Pyro Nuke to the face, and Shadowblade will be able to get the kill and just walk on out of there. No, Wrath of Pharaoh, and only always catch 2. Excellently done, and the Tempest Ultimate. That's going to be a death onto Pyromancer, and Shadowblade will not be able to survive this, despite trying to beef up with that strength gain. But, no. Very well coordinated there for the Legion side, with Glacius and Tempest combining. Some solid ultis. Eruption going down. They obviously see Magnus doing that, but oh, the portal key got canceled. Oh, it got canceled. Magnus. Okay. Yeah, he threw his sword over here, then didn't port to it. Did he get silenced? He must have. Well played from Bubbles then. So So Malakin does clean that up. Anyway, in the meantime here, Chipper here is going to be in some trouble. Actually, nice stomp there from the Minotaur. Will prevent the shell serve support. And Chipper will be able to walk away from this. Cluckmuck on Glacius may not be so lucky. Yeah, he's dead. Oh well.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn
Top tower goes down, so that's pretty solid. Some good pushing there from Tempest and Pharaoh. And this bottom tower is below half, and continuing to get pressured by this heavy ballista. The Legion's courier is just kind of hanging out in this top lane, so that's interesting. Kongor is going to be attempted once again by the Hellborn side. And this should be relatively easy, especially with the Abyssal Skull. Likely be a token for Shadowblade. Rocket will spot them out, so they know this is going on, and the Wrath of the Pharaoh will catch Swiftblade here. That's going to be an easy kill right off the bat. But we'll see if Pharaoh pays for this. Trying to avoid the stun from Pyromancer. There's the Mummy Wells that go down, and he's actually going to die. Ends up being 1-for-1 at this point. And Legion side's on the assault. They want something more. Magnus will stun up there, and he's going to be able to get out of there. Yep, with the portal keep. Just barely able to survive. Salvador Chundan does not hit him. So they stop the Kongor and go 1-for-1. Not a bad trade, especially considering Pharaoh was their suicide. And Swiftblade has a little bit more late game carry potential. Although, of course, Pharaoh did have more GPM going into that fight, so. Could go either way on which team actually won the engagement. I think at the end you have to say that, you know, the Hellborn were backed off of Kongor, and that was pretty critical, so. Not bad. Swiss Fusion still in the lead. Not by too much, though. 5k and just over 3k now in terms of golden experience. And of course, as you go later, that's less and less important. If you stay at 5k, all of a sudden that goes from a substantial lead to not a lead. Kongor looks like will be attempted once again. This shouldn't be difficult at all. Rocket comes in, but obviously there's nothing the Legion side can do about this whatsoever. So Shadowblade will be picking up the token here.
Been slain.
And dropping his Logger's Hatchet. It is the second Kongor, of course, because we did see the level 1 Kongor. Off the side here, meanwhile, Munglos will catch Magmus, but he'll just be able to Lava Surge right out of them, and he should be just fine. And meanwhile, Weedfield actually will catch 3. We'll see if they can do anything about this. Yep, Cluckmuck can be the first one to fall. Chipper going to be right next, and despite the focus buffer, will end up taking the death. They're going to try to get a kill on Tempest? No, nobody has enough mana, and especially not Magmus. Bottom tower does fall, thanks to Malakin pushing in, excuse me. And once again, he's farming pretty well, but that's about it for this Legion side. Take a look at the GPM charts. It's pretty clear that the Hellborn are doing a lot better in terms of top-end farm as well as spreading it around their team.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, looks like Malakin will be able to port out right before Magnus can interrupt him with a stun. So bottom secondary tower got pressured a little bit, but not too much. Meanwhile, the mid secondary for the Legion side fell. Tower going to get pressured once again. Legion side have tried to push this tower down a little bit a few times and haven't had too much success. Obviously still quite a ways above half health, really sitting at more like 2/3. Not anymore, I guess. Getting there. And Hellborn pretty insistent on defending that middle tower. They did lose their top and their bottom, of course, quite a while ago. But they've taken the opposing mid and long lane. Now it looks like they might set their sights on bottom, as they have all grouped up here as 5. And this will be a pretty easy tower kill on the bottom lane. Mid tower, meanwhile, looks like Tempest and Malakin will
The
pressure
Hellborn
it
have
and
destroyed
finally
a
get it
Legion
killed.
tower.
As bottom tower falls
The
in favor of
Legion have
Hellborn.
destroyed a Hellborn tower.
It's a big 1-for-1, slightly in favor of the Legion side, I think, just because mid tower is a little bit more valuable for positioning. And especially considering the Legion side have both of their mid tier 1 or mid towers down. So Hellborn definitely have the I can port to this advantage. And they may not stop here. They are missing Magmus, but that doesn't seem to be phasing them too much. And boy, this thing is just getting crushed. This is gonna be a tower kill. Top tier 2 is falling in favor of the Legion, but not quickly enough. And they can just keep going. They've got a token up on Shadowblade.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
So, yeah. Legion side have all ported back. We might be looking at engagement once again here. Shadowblade, of course, in the front lines with his token. He does have about a minute left on it, so at this point he should just be like, beat on the tower. Come kill me. Because he can kill those within a minute. I don't like that decision, honestly. Shadowblade continuing to put the auto attacks down, and this is going to get within deny range pretty quickly. So it's denied. And I think that's going to be it for the Hellborn, yeah, as Magmus portal keys away. So they're content with getting that. And we'll just back off. Rocket goes down there, they can try to initiate. Obviously Pharaoh can't get the hook because the opposing creeps. And probably doesn't really want it either. His team would be pretty far away from him, and there were 3 Hellborn heroes there, so likely wouldn't have ended particularly well for him or his team. But the token of life will wear off on Shadowblade. And he'll just head back to his favorite lane in the entire world, up on top, and continue to farm nearly 500 gold per minute here. This is sort of what I meant, though. I mean, I feel like Shadowblade isn't that good a hero. At 500 GPM, if this were Puppet Master, there's a pretty good chance this game would be over already. If this were Swiftblade, same deal. If this were Moon Queen, very, very possible. I feel like if you're going to get a hero that's going to get that much farm, then he probably wouldn't, or it would probably do better than Shadowblade currently is. So that Predator Crusher actually didn't die. I don't know if they noticed that, because if they didn't, it'll block their next spawn, and looks like they didn't. Oopsie. So if they get into deny there, we're taking a rocket to the face for it. And Chipper wants some action, but can't find any. Finally, meanwhile, Architecture on that Magmus once again. Gonna clean up these creeps. And he needs to TP on out of there because he's getting jumped. Not anymore. I guess they figured that he's got a way to leave, and he does. I was gonna stack Ancients here. Minotaur is gonna die, yes. And Pyromancer waiting for the next spawn, and then be like, yeah, I'll go kill that Predator. 350 gold or whatever. But once again, a bit of a more passive mid-game phase for both teams, much like last game. I think the difference is Twisted Fusion this time feel like they can deal with that. They don't really need to push the issue. They've got massive farm on 3 heroes, or 2 heroes, I guess. I keep feeling like Swiftblade's doing better than he is just because hero doesn't need anything. top lane. Swiftblade continuing to clean up, and we'll just back off after that. Ancient's being killed here by the Hellborn side. And, I don't really like this passivity from the Legion team. They've got Malikan, which is nice, but they don't have a late game. And they've got good initiation potential. They've got a bunch of heroes that should be powerful right now, especially Pharaoh and Chipper. And Glacial Downpour will be quite powerful at this point as well. I understand they don't really want to... There's no great way to initiate on this Hellborn side just because they don't have heroes that you can easily pick off. Magnus is super squishy and mobile. Bubbles is not squishy, but he's slippery. Bubbles is mobile as well. Pyromancer's a support, so you can kill him, but it doesn't really matter. Shadowblade's pretty damn tanky, and has some stuff as well. And of course, Swiftblade has the magic immunity and relatively fast movement speed in general. Aspect of a Basher, meanwhile, will just jump himself over that ledge and run away. Be totally fine. Not sure if Magnus saw him there. Definitely saw the Vagabond. This Word of Red will expire, and that will allow the Ancients to spawn once again. Like Kongor is going to be a focus for the Hellborn side, as they are sort of congregating around this area. It will be once again attempted. This is going to be the third Kongor kill, so bananas will be available for the team. And man, that thing is dying fast. Rocket will scout it again. The question is, will they be able to move here in time? Malikan's up in the top lane, and they can't take this fight.
Kongor has been slain.
So token once again here for Shadowblade, and this time the bananas will go to Magnus, which makes all sorts of sense. And Malikan could be in some trouble here. He just used his thing, and there's the Weed Field. He's going to try to pour it out of here, and that should be enough. Nope, actually does. Mini Stun. Oh, that's superior magic Mini Stun. That's a problem. Pyromancer here going to take the death for that, but they'll definitely take this trade. And that might have been his 10-second Trunken too. Yep. That was his 10-second Trunken. He's dead. There's a token on Shadowblade. There's bananas on Magnus. This is going to be a death push on the middle. At least it should be. Bottom lane looks like Swiftblade, no, Shadowblade, excuse me, will look to clean up these creeps and stop the push a little bit. So yeah, maybe they should probably wait for Pyromancer, but this is an opportunity right now to take some racks in bottom, maybe, or a tier 3 in middle. So, looks like Hellborn will be grouping up here, and Malikan has respawned. But not the biggest deal in the world. His Shrunken is back up. Swiftblade gonna make his way slowly down to this bottom lane, and the Legion side will be waiting for them when they approach the base. Swiftblade finally here. Pharaoh's off to the side, cleaning up an ancient camp, or a hard camp. And they're gonna get rid of some wards here. Shadowblade's DD'd. And so he's just basically like, look, Yeah, I can eat some damage here, and I'm just gonna kill your Rax. I've got a token, buddy. Jumping on a Clock Muck there. Oh, he gets slowed just too much. No, it turns the range for him, and that's gonna be a kill onto Glacius. Nice Swift Slash there in the background. Silence and Kelfield onto 2. Over here, Malakin is gonna chase. There's 2 fights going on. In the meantime, it looks like Malakin will die, as will Tempest. Malakin's still alive somehow, but there goes Slothfleas on that Swift Blade. Malakin did survive, ended up Wrath of the Pharaoh coming in, and the Tempest hold on to 2. Shadowblade can't cancel that. There goes Pyro. Bubbles me next on the list. He's also going to fall, almost certainly. Nope, there's the Shell Surf, and the Mummy Walls. Glacial Blast, not enough. Rocket there does just so much closeness. Yeah, he's screwed. Fairy Rocket will be back up in half a second. Question is, can he find it? Almost certainly he can. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So that's a lesson in getting greedy and doing absolutely the wrong thing. Because why the hell would you jump way in the back and try to kill Malakin? You don't need to do that. The eruption was used for just him. Not a good idea. Just kill a Rex. Like, if they engage on you, make them do that. You've got a Tempest with a portal key here. He is an ult. Like, that's all he does. He doesn't do anything else in these fights other than ult. If you can stop that with, say, a Bubbles Kelpfield, for example, which does a stun and can be done from really far away, then hey, that'd be great. Or you got push booked out the ass, because you've got one on Bubbles and you've got one on Pyromancer. You've also got the Magnus Lava Surge with his portal key. So it seems silly to me that they would choose to jump that far in the back. I suppose I understand why they want to be a little bit proactive about it, but it's just, they felt like they were forcing the issue, and we see it a lot too. We see a lot of teams that are like, let's fight, you know, we've got this, we're trying to push Rax here, we want to take a team fight, and I guess the idea is if they take a team fight and win the team fight, then that could be game. The issue is if they take the team fight and lose the team fight, then they don't get a Rax. So take a team fight if you want to, just do it after you kill a Rax. Because that's the main objective. If you start taking Rax, it's really, really easy to win. Meanwhile, Clock Mock here just gets screwed. So it's going to be a nice pick off right off the bat. A lot of damage and lockdown taken away from that Glacius. That old Magma still has the bananas. And of course, Tempest Ultimate is down. So going to try to push this once again. Shadowblade going to take a fair bit of damage. Wrath of the Pharaoh comes in there onto 2. Actually, Mighty Walls hit him as well. And we'll see if Swiftblade can do too much. He takes a lot of damage away by the creeps. And this is going to be a bad push once again from the Hellborn side. Swiftblade just barely going to get survived off to the side. And it looks like Shadowblade will have to run away. And he should be okay. Removes the Incendiary. Oh boy. Oh, there's the banners. Okay, that's why. That was really, really close and scary. In the meantime, they're going to try to jump on Chipper once again. They lock him down like crazy. Pyromancer Ultimate can help finish him off. Barbed Armor goes down, and then nice Mighty Walls. Actually, it's a really interesting interaction right there. Will allow Pharaoh to live. It's probably not the worst thing in the world considering he was barbed. But Shadowblade no longer wants any part of this engagement, and I can't blame him. He's not currently sitting on too much health. And honestly, I might like to see a Behe Heart before they try to do that again. Shrunken Head would definitely be very, very helpful as well, and of course that is their next item. Although, I'm not even sure if I would have gone for that over like a Behe Heart at this point. It's going to stop a lot of damage from Glacius and Chipper, but it's not going to stop the Tempest Ultimate, it's not going to stop the Wrath of the Pharaoh, and Malakin is going to right-click through it, so I don't think that's the best item for him. It's going to make him a little bit more mobile, which is nice. That's not really what he needs at this point. I think what he needs is tankiness. He needs to absorb a ton of damage. He already got 3,200 health. He doesn't even have a heart. So if he picks up a heart here, he'll be sitting on 5k. Maybe more. Definitely more. He's 3,400 now with the Insanitarius back in his inventory. Or he used his ultimate again. That's what that was. So yeah, with the Behe Heart, he's up over 5k health. And that's at the point where he just can't be killed. Like, he can just sit there and be on the racks, and there's nothing he can do about it, because you're not going to kill him before he kills the Rex. You're just not going to. It's not going to happen. Notable, the Chipper did pick up the Staff of the Master, so he's got the stalling effect on top of the Saw Blade Showdown. I believe that also releases the cooldown, right? No, apparently not. But Demstretch on that Chipper, not having the greatest game once again at 260 GPM, so not being able to recover quite as well as he did last time. Count Crappy was still here at 450 GPM, but he's going to get jumped once again, in a lot of trouble, gets locked down. That's going to be a death on Malakin. And that's not what needs to happen. Once again, the initiation potential for the Hellborn side is just so good. Portal Key on Swiftblade now as well. And this top tier 2 will fall. So that'll be the last outer tower in favor of Twisted Fusion.
Legion Tower.
And it's a Vagabond leader from the Whispering Helms getting dragged back into the base. And they're going straight for this Rax here. They know Malakin's not alive. He does have a buyback though, and there it is. And they see it, and then they're gone. So the Legion side now wants to engage on this, but they can't. They're too far away. Bot tower is getting pressured pretty heavily here, actually. So we'll see a port coming in, try to defend it.
Laughable.
And there's Deny as well. So well played there from Shadowblade. As he makes absolutely the correct play, forcing the buyback out of Malakin. That's more of a team play, and then going back from the bottom tier 2 tower. So Twisted Fusion are, I mean, they're still well in command of this game, as they have been for really a long time. But it feels like they sort of should have won already. Or at least they should be further ahead than they are. I feel like they misplayed on bottom lane at least once, possibly twice. And it hasn't hurt them enough to really put them in any real danger of falling significantly behind. They still have 12k gold lead and 11k experience lead. It's just like what could have been, and that's, you know, a bit disappointing. Congar actually should be back up relatively soon, I think. He was killed a while ago. And that would be the 4th Congar, as we have seen him killed 3 times already. Sheepstick on Magmus, so he's just going for Lockdown City, man. Hellfire, Sheepstick, and of course the Portal Key Stun combination. Hellflower. Hellfire is Pharaoh's ability. I'm just watching creeps kill each other in the middle lane. There's nothing else to really watch. Okay, Hellward items again really fast. Dawnbreaker, of course, was picked up on Shadowblade a long time ago. Shieldbreaker on Swiftblade, so he's looking for heavy damage. And he's pretty damn squishy at 1400 health. Obviously, the Portal Key and Spin will mitigate a lot of damage coming in. Or the Portal Key won't mitigate damage, but it'll make it a little bit safer. Bubbles, as the Portal Key on top of the push book, so really going for the more utility route that he should be expected to go for, no doubt. And there's Congar once again, as you're talking about, and Rocket will spot it out. So Legion side are very aware of this, and they're entirely prepared for it. They know they can't give up yet another Congar. I think at this point, if they do that, then it's gonna be bottom racks. So Hellborn will back away from this a little bit. Rocket scouting it once again. Legion side, meanwhile, have a Demonic Breastplate on top of the Whispering Helm. Shrunken Head combination from Malakin. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get a Symbol of Rage as his next item. And that could turn him into a pretty dangerous hero. Sheepstick there onto Chipper in the middle lane. Focus takes a bunch of damage there, but there's Initiation and a nice Tempest ultimate. Immediately cancelled, though, by something, not quite sure what. And just no follow-up damage. That was nothing. There was no follow-up there whatsoever. And 3 heroes are already dead from the Legion side. Chipper going to be the 4th.
No chance.
And that's going to open up Congar.
Give up already.
Or the bottom lane, whichever one they want. And it looks like it's bottom. Shadowblade at least run down there. Perhaps to just take down the racks. And Portal Key City. So there's a buyback available on Pharaoh. That was a really nice Pharaoh ultimate initiation. And a really nice Tempest ultimate. I think it was canceled by something. I can't tell. Maybe it was the Bubbles Hellfield. Here's a Shrunken though, so that shouldn't have been it. Perhaps the spin for the ultimate from Swiftblade.
Legion barracks has been destroyed.
But the bigger problem, I think, was just there was no follow-up damage.
Barracks has been destroyed.
They dropped a nice 3-man Tempest ultimate inside a 3-man Mummy Wall, and nobody actually hurt anything because Malakin wasn't there. And that's what happens when you're a little bit uncoordinated, get a little bit caught out, and Demstrats on this Chipper. 2 games really where he just has not had a great time. 2-8-2 in this game, and had a really terrible start in last game before picking it back up and becoming a valuable contributor. But seems like this isn't really his hero. This isn't really his playstyle or whatever. He has not had a good time on that hero. And Congar will be killed. Ends up being another token there for Shadow Blade. And bananas this time go to Swifty. And this is the situation where you're thinking the road to a comeback here for Ogre is really long and really hard. They've already got a bottom lane down. Triple stacked Ancients are going to be stolen here. That's going to hurt a lot. Malik is the only one on their team that's farming over 300 GPM. We're going to have 3 heroes over that in the on the Hellborn side. And Bubbles in 4th place, still farming pretty well. Even Pyromancer are 210 gold per minute, that's not bad at all. I don't see it happening. There's the Behe Heart for Shadow Blade. And that'll obviously make him more or less impossible to kill. 40... Yep, there's 5,600 health with the Insane Atarius popped. 52, 51. Even without that. It's currently sitting on 55 health regen per second. Looks like he'll be leading a charge down middle lane here, and this is perhaps going to be the game-ending push by Twisted Fusion. I think even if Legion side hold off a little bit here, it's not going to matter. Everybody in the Hellborn's got their buybacks. At least everybody that really matters. Archdagger doesn't have one, but it's fine. And if Shadowblade dies, he might have to be put below the threshold. But of course, he has the massive amount of health, plus the token. Both very helpful. And he's going to keep beating on this tower because he totally can.
Denied.
Malik gets the deny. They don't care. Shadowblade is basically going, there's nothing you can do about this. It's stopped by the Ice Imprisonment, but again, what are they going to do? Wrathfire there onto the Swiftblade in the back, but he gets pushed back forward, and there's the counter. Sheepstick, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Pharaoh will be the first one to drop. Puckbuck died immediately in the background. A nice Tempest Hole there, does catch Swiftblade, but that's just about it. Tempest going to die in the as he gets hit in the background, and Malikan can't hold this. So there's a buyback onto Pharaoh and Chipper, as well as Malikan. They're going to try to hold this, but it's probably not going to happen. The Hellborn side didn't use too much. Magma Disruption's still available. And yeah, there's a CC vote. And there's the Magma Disruption coming in on top of 2. And that's game. So, well played there from Twisted Fusion in this game too. They took a really nice early lead and just basically never gave it up. So, that'll do it here for this game. And I'm going to turn the screen black a little bit as I switch to the next replay so we don't get any spoilers. And then we will go into Game 3 of this Winners Bracket Semifinals match between Team Shrek is Love and Team Twisted Fusion.